Vaping began as a symbol of progress, a cleaner, safer alternative to traditional smoking. Over the past decade, this device-driven phenomenon has transformed into a global industry and a public health puzzle. Two countries, the United Kingdom and Pakistan, stand at opposite ends of the regulatory spectrum. Their approaches offer a revealing contrast, one guided by a structured, science-backed framework, the other still searching for its footing in a rapidly expanding market. In the United Kingdom, vaping regulation has evolved from cautious curiosity into a robust legal regime. The tobacco and related products regulations of 2016 set the foundation, demanding product notifications, safety standards, and transparent labeling. Producers are required to register their devices with the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, ensuring that what reaches consumers meets defined safety thresholds. More recently, a landmark decision has drawn a clear environmental line, the 2025 ban on single-use vapes. The message is unmistakable. Sustainability must now accompany harm reduction. The country's tobacco and vapes bill promises to knit together every aspect of regulation under one roof: licensing, advertising, flavor controls, and retailer accountability. This is not just about what people inhale, but how society manages an industry that straddles health, commerce, and environment. Trading standards. Officers across the UK are empowered to issue fines or prosecute retailers who breach the ban, while local authorities work to ensure that waste, recycling, and disposal standards are observed. Still, the UK's model is far from flawless. Online sales often outpace enforcement capacity, allowing minors and foreign imports to slip through the cracks. The industry itself evolves faster than the legislation. New devices, new chemical formulations, new marketing tactics. Regulators must run to stand still. Yet Britain remains one of the few nations openly embracing vaping as a harm reduction tool, recognizing that helping smokers quit is not at odds with protecting the young. Pakistan, meanwhile, presents a very different picture. Here, the vaping market exists in a space of semi-legality, permitted in practice, but barely defined in law. There is no single statute governing devices, liquids, or marketing. No formal age limit applies nationwide. In a landscape where enforcement is thin and awareness limited, almost anyone can buy, sell, or import a vape without consequence. Provincial governments, such as in Punjab, have attempted bans, but these have stumbled amid legal challenges and weak legislative grounding. The lack of oversight has created a fertile environment for rapid market growth. Vape shops line city streets, online sales flourish, and an entire subculture of young users has emerged. Yet beneath this freedom lies risk. Devices of uncertain quality, counterfeit liquids, and aggressive marketing campaigns that treat flavor as fashion. Without regulation, the boundaries between adult use and youth experimentation blur. For Pakistan, vaping is both an economic opportunity and a ticking health dilemma. The contrast could not be sharper. In the UK, each product is scrutinized, registered, and limited by design. In Pakistan, the same devices flow freely, often unlabeled and untested. Where the British government sees vaping as a tool for public health, Pakistan's current environment risks turning it into another unregulated consumer trend. Both paths hold lessons, one for effective governance, the other for the perils of delay. Comparing the two systems exposes a deeper issue: implementation. The UK has mechanisms, agencies, penalties, and a culture of compliance. Pakistan, though it has begun drafting bills and debating controls, lacks the infrastructure to enforce them. Even when regulations appear on paper, enforcement often stops at the border. Retailers continue to sell whatever sells best, and consumers remain unaware of product origins or safety standards. The UK's regulatory strengths, age limits, licensing, and environmental attention stem from decades of public health policymaking shaped by tobacco control. By contrast, Pakistan's relative vacuum mirrors its broader struggle with policy execution, where enforcement often lags behind intent. Yet it would be wrong to dismiss Pakistan's potential. The country's young population, expanding urban consumer base, and growing awareness of health risks mean that vaping could still evolve responsibly if guided by coherent law and science-based standards. For both countries, the environmental question looms large. Disposable vapes, with their lithium batteries and plastic casings, are not merely litter, they are chemical hazards. The UK's ban on disposables sets a precedent that others may follow. In Pakistan, where waste management is already strained, these devices add an invisible layer of pollution to streets and landfills. Regulation here is not simply a matter of health, it is one of sustainability and stewardship. Looking ahead, the UK's trajectory seems clear. A fully licensed, tightly monitored market where adult smokers retain access to regulated products and youth appeal is deliberately curbed. The proposed excise tax on vaping products will likely reinforce this balance, discouraging casual experimentation while legitimizing controlled, informed use. Britain's challenge will be to maintain that balance without stifling innovation or pushing users towards black markets. Pakistan's future is less predictable. A draft bill now before the Senate aims to regulate production, sale, and advertising under a national framework. If passed, it could transform the vaping landscape, replacing chaos with clarity. But that transition will not be easy. Enforcement capacity must grow, consumer education must improve, and provincial conflicts must be resolved. The key test will be whether regulation protects without prohibiting, enabling adult smokers to quit while shielding young people from addiction. Public health remains the central theme. In both countries, vaping sits at the crossroads of harm reduction and harm creation. The UK has consciously chosen regulation over prohibition, aligning science with policy. Pakistan, by contrast, risks learning through crisis, waiting for public outcry before acting decisively. The lesson from the British experience is simple. Early, evidence-based regulation prevents greater harm later. For industry players, regulatory certainty defines survival. In the UK, businesses operate under clear obligations and predictable compliance paths. In Pakistan, unpredictability and patchwork rules discourage long-term investment, leaving the field to opportunistic retailers and unverified imports. For responsible companies, a consistent framework could be the difference between a viable market and a public backlash. And then there is the global dimension. As governments worldwide grapple with how to balance health, freedom, and commerce, the stories of the UK and Pakistan illustrate two sides of the same debate. One demonstrates the power of foresight, the other, the cost of absence. Vaping at its core was meant to save lives, a bridge away from tobacco's destruction. Whether it fulfills that promise depends not only on technology or intent, but on governance. In the UK, every new law seeks to refine that promise. In Pakistan, The coming years will decide whether vaping becomes a managed solution or a mounting problem. In the end, this is not just about devices or nicotine. It is about how societies handle change, how they protect citizens without suffocating innovation, how they learn from others, and how they balance health with choice. The story of vaping in the UK and Pakistan is still being written. Its next chapter will reveal whether these clouds are merely vapor or a sign of transformation to come.